Welcome to the Ask Weldon Show, episode 75. Today I talk about favorite players, improving coaching, and nootropics. So I've gone back and forth about trying to record every single day versus trying to batch record a bunch of shows so that you guys have like something at least on the show to watch every day. And I think because I'm on paternity leave, because I have like a third little baby running around, and I can't really predict my schedule, what I'm going to do is just record a bunch of episodes today. So I apologize for the fact that my intro is going to be the same every day. Eventually, I'll get back to having a little bit more free time, and I'll be able to make sure that I record every morning. But for right now, I'm just going to stick with like getting you guys a bunch of shows so that I stop getting pinged on Twitter about when the next show is coming out. And joining me today, I have some presents that I bought for my kids that they do not like. So I've decided to start filming with them. It's my own things. I have Mr. Ramasporo and Lulu. So I bought this for my daughter, and she was not entertained. She's like, okay, interesting, and then went back to playing with cars. And I bought this for my son, and he was like, okay, whatever, it's too spiky. He doesn't want to sleep with it or touch it because he thinks it hurts. So now they're mine. Maybe they'll keep me company on the show. Maybe we'll find a way to like pass them off to people who really want them sometime. I don't have any like bookshelf to set them behind so they can watch us. But anyway, they'll be right here if you ever want to talk to them. I'm sure that they'll oblige. I don't have a Lulu voice yet. You don't want to hear my like imitations of League of Legends voices. So let's go ahead and kick it off.
Joseph asks, how do you improve at coaching yourself by coaching others?
That's a really good question. The way that it works is mostly through reflection. So you can coach others and not get better at coaching yourself. But the way that a person who does coach others and then does get better at improving themselves is through reflection. So that like coaching others is not a necessary part of that equation. If you find a way to like get a higher level of self-awareness or higher level of reflection without coaching somebody else, like let's say through watching TV, or that's like an extreme example, or something like journaling, then you can get better at coaching yourself. How do you get better at coaching yourself by coaching others? That's like you become more self-aware of kind of your own like problems. The things that I don't like are when coaches do not grow in self-awareness when they're coaching others. They don't reflect about their work. They don't become better coaches of others, so they don't become better at coaching themselves. So I think if you have a progression track, if you understand what you're doing to other people when you coach them, and you're trying to always get better at it, then you naturally are going to get better at then coaching yourself. But I think it takes a little bit of self-awareness to pull that off, because you can basically have no concept of like patience and acceptance for yourself and your own failings, and then it's really hard to move forward. It's really hard to like critique yourself and step up and kind of like take that road. So how else do you improve yourself by coaching others? I think just by like getting better at what you're doing. Like I've become way better at League of Legends by coaching League of Legends, just because I absorb stuff that I'm training. I learned to think more in a system and less in like a black and white kind of linear way in the moment, in like a binary like function. So here's this moment, is it good or bad? I learned to think more of a systemic view because that's my progression when I'm coaching. So that kind of helps me get better myself, because then I'm thinking like, okay, well maybe I lost this game, but I'm going to gain in the long run by the skills that I was training or whatnot.
Noah asks, who is your favorite player to work with?
I think I've answered this before. That's a tough question because they all have their upsides and downsides. Working with Matt on Team Liquid was pretty freaking awesome, but so was working with Dardoch. Working with Peter, Double Lift on TSM, obviously, always super fun because he's really driven. But working with Darshan was also a blast. Who was my favorite player to work with? Let's see. Maybe I can answer this in different ways. Who do I think took the most to what I was training when I was doing it? So in terms of like results, like the most fun person, I would say either Soren or Dardoch. Who was the most fun to like coach, as in to have conversations with, and to coach, and to watch them apply stuff and struggle and push through? I would say Youngbuck from Copenhagen Wolves. Who is the most fun because like they they forget everything that I train them, and then remember it the next time I train them, and then go and like carry the game like crazy. Freeze from Copenhagen Wolves and then from Renegades. I haven't ever. I have had one sustained training like season with Freeze, and it was really fun because of that. Who was? I have a long list for the most frustrating players to work with, but we're not going to go there. Who was the most hilarious player to work with? Probably Colin Solo from Ember, the top laner there. He's hilarious, good-natured, really fun. Yeah, I think hopefully that I answered that question because I don't think there's like a one answer, for me. I appreciate different things from different people. Yeah, that was probably the deepest I've ever gotten to that question. I'm trying not to favorite people, if you know what I mean. I don't want the people I don't mention to feel left out.
Tommy asks, do you still experiment with nootropics? If so, will you be updating the nootropics anytime soon?
So this is in reference to a page that I had where I was essentially working through nootropics and doing experiments with them. And the answer is yes. I've settled down on my main ones, and so I stopped like kind of searching for new ones. But I'm trying to nail those down. So I'm trying to perfect caffeine. Um, Hang on, I'm blanking right now because I'm so tired. I'm trying to perfect the nootropics that I'm currently using, which is L-theanine and caffeine mainly, and then a little bit of what is the one, taurine that comes in Red Bull. None of the research that I've found has panned out for that. Like almost none of it seems applicable to performance enhancement. And so L-tyrosine is the next one I'm thinking about, like kind of fitting in there. But I'm trying to go for like 20%, 80%. So what are the few nootropics that have the largest effect on performance? I'm not looking for the like long-term kind of like little incremental increases. So for me, like caffeine and L-theanine have the most promise there, which is why I'm focusing on them. Now, if we're talking about like day-to-day life and clarity and like health in day-to-day life, then I think there's a lot of supplements that are fantastic. I think if you go look at the cocktail mix in, for example, Alpha Brain, you'll find a lot of really cool chemicals from trees, bark, some of the Asian medicines that they have research that like have a big impact on either lucid dreaming or focus during the day. But I have a ton of Alpha Brain. It's one of my favorite nootropics as far as like the research behind it, the packaging, in terms of it, like what's in the actual pill. But I haven't been using it recently because I've been focusing on sleep. If your sleep's not squared away, then you're just trying to like stem the bleeding basically. And so I need to square away my sleep and figure that out before I worry about the chemicals that I take during the day to like maximize then my positive uptime. So I don't want to fall on nootropics as like trying to raise my negative uptime in terms of like because I'm not sleeping enough. So first I want to square that away, and I'm relying on caffeine and melatonin mostly to do that. And then once that's squared away, then I'll go into the positive enhancement in terms of like when I've got stuff moving forward. So will I update the nootropics soon? Yes, I'm definitely going to be having like a resources page where I talk about my favorite nootropics. And otherwise, I need to get the podcast back up because that's where the episodes were on each individual chemical. So thanks, Tommy, for the question, and I will see you guys in the next show. I want to end with a question of the day. And my question is, what nootropics do you take or do you experiment with? And what are your favorite that you've used? Like, why? What effects have you had with them? And as a caveat, are any of you doing lucid dreaming or attempting to do lucid dreaming in terms of your either training, mental training, or nootropic use? I'm really curious about that. So let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys episode 76.